Dun, 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 dun. Hey, might say, look out, Jay. Hey, man, shout out to that boy, goddamn called Gotti. Melvin Over, brother, aka MO3. Man, man's a strong young man, cause if that was my brother, bro, I wouldn't have been sliding. You did. That's just how I feel. That's just me. But I know he also got to be here for his T Jones. He did. He T lady. Take care of her. He got kids. I mean, I understand both aspects, but I wouldn't be sliding on my boy you did. But let's get into this interview. I want to see what Kogat got to say about the about this whole situation with his brother and stuff.
Yeah,
So I assume you grew up in Dallas with Mo3.
yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. Take me back a little bit. What was that like?
I mean, man, we really moved from McKinney, so shit, like, moved to Dallas.
Kenny.
I was in like 5th grade. For me, it was a real culture shock and shit. You know what I'm saying? I had to adjust real fast.
Mm.
But bro, he got straight to it. He got straight to it. It was cool though. It was cool though. Just a lot different for the longest. For a couple of years, it was a little different till we started adjusting. Now McKinney real home base, so everywhere you go in McKinney, you know everybody. In Dallas, it's just you out there by yourself for real.
You guys get to Dallas, and you know, what is your life like? Are you in the streets too, or are you a little bit more chill?
I was a little bit more chill. I'm still a little bit more chill. I was more like I said I moved there. We was like 10, so I'm just chilling for the most part. I'm a schoolboy going to school, playing sports. I ain't really getting to no street shit till like 14, 15.
What was it like growing up with Mo3?
I mean, shit, it was great. You know, that's my boy. It's what you see on the
Boy, I
internet.
know
That's
that
what
shit
he
hurt,
is,
boy.
man.
Your
That's who
brother
he is.
gone,
Like
you can't
it's
do
who he
nothing
always
about it.
been. But for me, shit, that's big bro. But I'm always following him. Man, he always trying to tell me what to do. So that's like my brother and my daddy at the same time. You know. But that nigga, he crazy, funny, goofy, loving, caring, and evil at the same time.
I didn't
What's
say
your favorite
even at the
story
same
growing up with
time.
them?
Growing up, favorite story growing up. I mean, when we was younger, we used to like, it used to be like running in the warehouses, like food source and shit, little warehouse buildings that do food. Be running in there, we call it
Yeah, you want to fly, girl?
investigating. We like young as hell, like 8, 7 and
What's
shit.
up?
Running in there, throwing they shit over, they chasing us and shit.
Come on, you
But
got
that's
5.
everyday shit. Well, bro, he gonna have us in some shit.
He's always gonna have you in some shit. So even back then, Mo3 was always getting in some kind of trouble.
Right. That's what he do. He wake up getting us into some trouble for real. I'm talking about every day too, like every day. He gonna keep us in some shit.
What was high school like for you?
For me, high school, so boom, bro went to jail. We was still staying in Dallas when I was in 9th grade. Then bro went to jail, so we moved back to McKinney. So high school was smooth for the most part. Like I was in and out of alternative school and shit. And then
Bad.
when he got out of jail, I was in like 10th, 11th grade.
Mm-hmm.
And then my mama and 3 moved back to Dallas. She had got kicked out of her house. So her and 3 moved to her daddy house. And I stayed in McKinney, moved with my people
Mm.
and shit. Started living life, graduated, tried to go to college, that shit ain't work.
Everybody try to go to
High school
college,
was smooth
goddamn.
though.
Say that's the American
Okay,
dream, but
so
it
you
really
guys didn't
ain't.
live together after that, then?
Nah, hell nah.
Okay.
We stayed in touch though. We stayed in touch because Dallas and McKinney ain't that far from each other. But like I say, my mama got kicked out. Really, 3 had caught them 4 indictments. And then she spent all her money trying to get him out of jail and shit. So by the time he got out of jail, she was kind of behind on
Boy,
rent, lost
shit
the
our parents
car.
do
So her
for
and
us,
3
boy.
moved to her daddy house in
Shit our
Garland.
parents do for us.
But I stayed in McKinney because I already kind of had my life set up out there. You know what I'm saying? And then shit after high school, I got my own spot, started doing my thing. Bruh stayed in Dallas. He stayed doing his thing.
Motherfucking North.
Like he once we moved to Dallas and moved back to McKinney, he never stopped going to Dallas. I more or less like built me a life in McKinney, so I didn't leave when they left. I just stayed with my peoples and moved around till I got on my own shit, finished school and shit, dug it in McKinney.
Okay, that's what's up. All right. Well, let's just kind of get into the big news going on. I think
Right.
everybody knows Yella Beezy was arrested and has been charged with capital
do more
murder
like
for the
stuff
murder
towards
of
the reason so you can
Mo3.
get yourself out there
Right.
more.
You know,
This dumb
what
is gonna
was
bow
your
down about his
very
brother.
first reaction, and did you have any idea that this was coming?
Nah, I ain't know it was coming, but shit. When I seen him, I was kind of mad. I don't want to see that boy in jail. I want him free. I want him outside on the streets. I don't want him free. I mean, I don't want him in jail.
Try to get that street justice, goddamn.
He's bailed out.
Right.
You know, he got a $75,000 bond, so he's gonna be able to fight his case from the streets. You know,
Right.
just out of what you've seen, you know, what do you think about it? You know, do you think he'll be found guilty? You know, like what's your general thoughts on everything?
I mean, me personally, I don't know what he gonna be found, but I wish him the best. He got money, he can fight. You know, niggas with money beat cases like that all the time. I wish him the best.
Well, Trap Boy Freddy made a post saying that Yella Beezy spent his last $75,000 on bail.
Right.
Boy still got
Did you
money.
see that?
I mean, he probably was just trolling. You know, that nigga, he be laughing there. He probably just talking. That nigga.
I think Yella Beezy owes Rainwater some money too.
Right. That's what they say on the internet.
Okay. Well, why you say they say that on the internet?
I
You
mean,
don't think that that's true?
that's what I see on the internet. They be in court and shit. So I figured they do, but you know, I don't really fuck with Rain, so I don't be in this business or none of that shit.
That shit crazy.
So Yella Beezy gets arrested. You know, the internet goes crazy. You know, a lot of stuff, you know, old Mo3 stuff starts coming back up.
Right.
You know, well, you know what? You know, I mean, besides the general thought of wanting to see him free, you know, like, you know, how's your family feel about it? You know, what's your, you know, what's the general thoughts of everything
I
going
mean,
on?
you know, my mama, she happy. She happy. She a mother. She
Yeah, she
wants
should.
justice
That's
for
a
her
mama.
child. So,
Yeah,
you
she in
know,
there
them
street
all
shit.
them type of
Of course.
family members, they happy. They getting the results that they want out of this shit. But you know, not everybody want them in jail. But for my mama, that's good for her. She want justice for her son.
Now,
Mhm.
I seen that, you know, FBG Duck's mom is suing Little Dirt. Did you
Right.
see that?
Yeah, I seen it. I seen it.
Do you guys have plans to sue Yella Beezy if he gets found guilty?
Nah, I don't think my mama gonna sue that nigga. I don't know. I ain't got no plans to sue his ass. But I don't think my mama gonna sue him.
Okay. This one we
That boy
kind of
Call
didn't
Gotti
really
wants
see
that get
coming.
back.
You know, like
Right.
the two guys were arrested first, and
Right.
we
I
all
want to
thought
smell my
this had
damn
to do
son.
with some jealous female
That
that
was
was
Rain's
mad because
narrative.
Mo3 was hooking up with his baby's mom, and you know there was these pictures of Mo3 with the baby. I don't know whose baby it was, but they were
Right.
saying that it was this dude's chick, and you know that was kind of like the narrative that we
Right.
had on the internet. I mean, you know, everybody, you know, Yella Beezy, you know, I mean, it was there, but you know, Yella Beezy didn't really, you know, he didn't talk about it a lot, like you know,
Right.
a lot of other rappers have. So, you know,
Right.
I mean, maybe you guys closer to the situation, you know, maybe knew or you know, saying heard more rumors, but as far as like I think the general public, you know, there just wasn't a lot out there.
Right. You know, shit, I thought the same thing. It's a lot of different stories that come around. I done heard all the stories, so shit. I just see it, wait till it come out and move off of that.
Off that, yeah. Well,
I ain't know too much details at the time. I'm just surprised as everybody else.
Mm. Well, you know, one thing that started to go viral again was the video
Which
from
video?
the freeway
On the highway?
that
Yeah.
bitch is clear.
on the highway. You know, I remember when this originally went viral a while back, but it started to go viral again, man. You know, did you watch the video?
Yeah, when it first dropped, I ain't watched this shit till months later. This time it dropped, hell yeah, I watched that bitch like 100 times. I'm on that bitch trying to I'm doing my own investigating work. I'm on that bitch trying to figure some shit out. Cause I got my own theory about what happened and how it happened. You know, I ain't gonna get too deep on camera cause I ain't on no police shit, but yeah, I got my own theory about what happened and how it happened. So I watched that video like 100 times, literally.
Mm.
Okay, I mean, I think the biggest thing from the video is, people see Mo3 go into the passenger seat,
Right,
and I think everybody assumes he probably had a gun,
right,
or was trying to get a gun, or thought he had a gun and he didn't have a gun.
right,
I don't know exactly what happened, but it didn't work out the way I think that he probably
right.
expected it to.
You don't know, but yeah, that's three got a stash spot over there. That he was trying to get to that joint. And how he got
Personally, he
to
had that
that
bitch under
joint,
his
it'll be a
seat.
whole nother story going on right now. It'll be some shit for real.
It would have been pretty wild
Yeah.
because it looks like it would have been on camera.
Yeah, it would have went down. It would
So
have went down on that highway for sure. It would have went down on that highway. No count. It'll be some shit. But yeah, I think he just ain't have enough time to get to it. But I knew exactly what he was trying to do. I knew exactly what he was trying to do. See, me and him
I'd
be
be
arguing about that type of shit, that same exact shit.
shit, cut that
I
bitch
be
under his
telling that
seat.
nigga about that stash spot, like, bro, you can't go with your move. A nigga get up on you close like that, and that gun over there, you ain't got enough time to really do what you need to do. We literally had that argument, bro, probably like 3 weeks before that shit happened. Cause I had just got out of jail for a gun, and he was on my ass about riding where I was riding with my gun. And I was telling him like, bro, this bitch gonna be in my lap. It's with me, cause niggas start earning his car out. You ain't got time. Same shit he tried to do. We literally had that same argument like 3 weeks before.
damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Okay. This video drops. It goes viral.
Right.
You see it.
Right.
Are you mad that it drops? Are you happy that it drops? Like what's your thoughts on it being public?
I ain't mad that they dropped it. Like that shit bring my feelings back up. I might be mad at the situation, but I don't be mad that they dropped it. That shit kind of be like halfway good that they dropped it, so I can look at it and try to pick through and see what really, really happened. Tell you anything. I done heard 100 stories. So to see it for yourself, you get to kind of get your own perspective of the situation. At first, when it first happened 2020, I was mad that they dropped it. But these days, I was glad they put that whole video out. The first video was kind of like real close up. You couldn't see everything. This video, you can kind of see what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the first video, it was it was really bad
Right.
quality.
I think they had zoomed
hard.
in. That first video was zoomed all the way in. This video is just, I guess it's the original video, look like.
Yeah. Where were you when you first got the news?
Man, I was at home. It's crazy because, like, bro, the day before, I'm gonna run you back. Well, I'm gonna tell you I was at home then, but I'm gonna run you back. So 2 days before, like, when a nigga called me and was like, bro, your brother just got shot, right? This 2 days before he gets shot. Nigga called me like, your brother just got shot.
What the
Out the
fuck?
bam. So I called bro, like, bitch, what's up? You good? We laugh about this shit. The next day, he was in Cali at the time.
That's crazy.
The next day, I'm supposed to meet him in Cali. I fly to Cali and shit to handle my business, but I was gonna meet him too. When I get to Cali, I call him. He like, bitch, I just came back to Dallas. I gotta shoot this movie. I'm like, bet I'm gonna be back in the morning. So shit, I get back from Cali to Dallas on 11/11 that morning though, at like 6 in the morning. I take a nap, wake up, that nigga Rain called me and was like, bro, they just shot your brother. I was at the house though when he got shot type shit.
Were you surprised to find out that him and Rainwater were on the phone right before he was shot?
Not really. They that's what they do. They just came from out of town together. That's what they do. They talk on the phone.
This case
they
deep
do that
shit, bro.
I wasn't surprised they was on the phone at all. I was surprised though that he stayed on the phone while he was running while they were shooting him though.
So wait, Mo3 was on the phone while on camera. Mo3, oh, he must have had earbuds in.
Nah, you watch the video. He still got his phone in his hand.
Oh shit. Okay.
Like when I called Rain was telling me like, bro, I can hear him. Like I can hear him right now. This after he got shot, type shit. But yeah, he still got his phone in his hand. In the other video, you can see his phone like laying right by him and shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy, man.
Nah, for real.
I interviewed Mo3 one time. You know, he
Right.
seemed like a really cool dude, man. You know, I'm glad I got to meet him. Glad I got to interview him.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, I got you at the end of one of my songs, you in his interview.
Mm.
I got a song called On Bubba on his channel. I got you and him talking at the end of that motherfucker. I really was using what he said, but he was talking to you on that bitch. That's why all this crazy.
oh wow, that's what's up.
Now I'm gonna
That's
shoot
what's
it to
up,
you
man.
when we get out for this.
Okay, dope,
Yeah,
dope.
yeah.
We did the one interview, man. It was dope interview, man. You know, I just thought your brother was extremely talented, man. I don't even think he was close to his full potential.
At all.
You know,
He had a long way to go.
like
Mm-hmm.
super talented guy, man.
That's
Right.
facts. He
You
did have a
know,
long way, bro.
it's
Shit
sad
sad.
what
He get to
happened.
see that shit.
Nah, for real.
So now, MO3 passes away,
Right.
and Dallas goes crazy.
Right.
You know, I think the radio stations are going crazy, playing his music.
Right.
You know, there's people coming out to celebrate his life. You know, there's crowds everywhere, man. You know, what was that like? Just like really seeing the love the Mo3 had. You know, after he passed away.
Right. I really wish he could have got to see it
While he
for
was
himself.
here.
Cause he ain't really get they ain't give it to him while he was here. Like especially the radios and shit, they ain't really give it to him while he was here. I really wish he got to see it for himself, cause that shit used to bother him a little bit. But at the time, man, it was bittersweet. Cause I looked at it the same way I'm telling you now. Like, damn, I wish I would have did that while bro was here. Like, cause he really felt like Dallas ain't fuck with him, you know. But yeah, that it was alright though. It was smooth that they did what they did. It only lasted for a little bit though. After a while, they went back to regular program, and they started playing my shit every week and all that shit.
Yeah, yeah, man. You know, one of the things that happened when all this celebrating was going on, you know,
Right,
Boosie makes his way out to Dallas
right,
to go out there and mourn and be with everybody,
right,
and he ends up getting shot
right.
while he's out there. What was your thoughts, and what'd you think when that happened?
That shit was crazy in the bitch. That shit was crazy. Like that's all I could think. Like damn, that shit crazy. I ain't believe it at first, to tell you the truth, until it really, really, really hit the internet. You know, we kind of around certain people to know, like we was close enough to know, like damn, that bitch really got shot. But you know, when bro died, it was up. It was going down when bro first died. It was up all the way to where shit. I thought like it was crazy, but I'm back to back to the program. It was real smoke when that shit first happened.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, from what I understand, there was a lot of wild shit going on.
Hell
Some
yeah.
wars broke out.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nah, for real,
It's not still
it
for
was
that boy
going
3.
down. It was going down. It was going down. A lot of people lucky
Man,
that they still here through that
Mm.
shit. For sure.
what's your family feeling at the time?
When it happened,
Yeah.
I mean like my mama, she devastated, you know? She devastated and like I feel like everybody else was really in shock. I think like motherfuckers was in disbelief. Cause three just ain't it just that ain't part of what a think. Even though he living like that, he really is what he say he is, that'd be the last shit you wake up and expect. So like my mama was devastated, but
Damn.
a lot of other people I feel like they was more or less in shock. And like for like 2 months, 2.5 months, I wasn't even around I didn't go around nobody for real. I was
Damn.
on some whole other shit. Like I only seen like two of my partners that was with me and shit. I see my mama every now and then when it first happened. But I know she was fucked up for sure.
Damn.
I know she was fucked up and I know his daddy was like we
Mm.
got two different dads, but I know his daddy was fucked up. They was devastated for sure.
Damn. Okay.
That's
Damn.
fucked up, boy.
Well, New Year's Eve comes,
Right.
and I'm sure you've seen the video, but Yella Beezy makes a New Year's video.
They're gonna use that shit against his dumb ass.
Everybody kind of thought he was taking a shot at Mo3.
Right.
Basically said, anybody who's against you, put their ass in the dirt.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that? And what'd you think?
You know, them niggas couldn't breathe when 3 was alive. He was able to breathe now. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, 3 was
They
on
couldn't
their
breathe
ass.
when 3 was alive. You know, he wasn't taking them type of shots when bro was alive.
No, that's facts.
But see, now bro was gone. Niggas was able to go out again. Niggas was able to enjoy their life
Live their
again.
life.
It was hard for him
They
while 3
was
was
on the
alive.
boy's
So
ass.
that's, you know, when that shit happened though, bro, I was on, when he did that, I was on some whole other type of time to where, yeah, you know. But I ain't feel no type of way. I ain't feel no type of way. It is what it is. Bro was putting that belt on their ass, so they had to talk that shit when he was gone.
Oh
All these,
shit.
you know, the other backup downs you see motherfuckers doing all that dissing and shit. He got it the worst. So you know, when niggas feel that pain
Jail.
and a nigga like that go, now you can breathe again. Now you
Breathe
can live
again. That
again.
nigga
So
3
they
was
gonna talk their little
on
shit.
their ass, boy.
Yeah, you
That
know,
shit
I see
crazy.
a lot of people say that MO3 made Yella Beezy have to be a gangster.
I wouldn't call him no gangster, but nah, he just made it hard for. He made it hard for niggas, like all the way around. He made it hard for niggas. Like three really was what he said he was. He really was what he said he was.
Did you ever talk to your brother and ask him or try to convince him to just squash things or get out of Dallas?
I ain't never told him to squash nothing, but I did try to tell him to move to Cali in 2020. Cause he was supposed to go to Cali in October for an album, but he started doing that movie, so he kind of pushed it back. But I was telling that nigga like, bro, you need to move, like, you know what I'm saying? It was getting real. You know that big, you know that they had just shot at bro in like September. He had got shot at in Houston. They almost got him in Houston.
Damn.
So after that, I was telling him like, bro, you need to get out the city. You know,
Damn, I
move
wish
to
my nigga
LA,
want to move, bro.
like you said you was. And you know, you can come back out here and do your thing when you want to. But three real, like a street first, a rap second.
Second.
And he was like, nah, I
Don't
can't
mix,
leave
bro.
by myself.
That
And I
shit do
can't
not
take
mix.
everybody else with me, and then they feel the wrath of what I got going
Be
on.
doing
He was
in the
like,
streets.
after this shit over with, like, then I'm gonna move. You know what I'm saying? But I stayed on him about moving. But I ain't telling him to squash nothing.
Can't tell no
It's
street
kind
nigga
of like
squash no
reminds me
beef.
of Duck's situation.
Right.
You know, everybody was kind of telling Duck, man, leave Chicago, and he didn't want to leave. From what I understand, it was because
Duck got
of
did
he didn't want to leave
dirty.
his family behind, his people behind.
Right.
You know, he got killed in broad daylight too, man.
That shit
Right.
dirty.
You
Damn.
know, so it was it's
Nigga shouldn't have left, bro. You got
you
money.
know,
Why
it's
didn't you
sad
just
when,
leave, bro?
you know, guys stay in their city or where the
Think
main
they can't be
problems are,
touched.
and
Right.
you know they don't get out of there in time, man. You know, being a rapper makes you a really big target.
Nah,
So
for
it's
real.
even more, you know, your face is known if you go in public. If you're fucking a girl, she's telling you know what I'm saying? She's telling
You know what I'm
everybody
saying?
like, I'm
Mad. She
being
gonna
with
tell your
Mo3.
ass. Tell your
You know?
drop.
Tripping. Yeah, I be mad at that nigga about that shit. Still to this day. He ain't had no business over there.
Nah, for real.
He could have did that anywhere else.
He
See,
feel
I ain't really
untouchable, bro.
know how deep that shit got until it was
That
over
shit
with.
deep as fuck.
Like I ain't know that girl, that was her baby daddy and all that shit. I just feel like 3 was taunting them niggas like,
He was.
no, bro,
That nigga was,
really
boy.
living like that. So he just picking with their ass. Letting them know. Like, yeah, I'm over here on y'all ass and I'm on y'all side of town.
What
But yeah,
y'all
I hate
do?
he did that shit.
I mean, do you know the chick? Did you know her, or was it like somebody he was serious with?
Nah, I only met her one time. Well, I only seen her really one time. But nah, I don't really know her like that. I feel like he was with her though. He was with her. I don't know how serious he was with her, but he had to be serious over there, vulnerable with her. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But yeah, he was with her. I knew he was around her a lot. He was, you know, like they got him posting the kids and at a mama house and shit. So he had to be with her. He doing all that. A lot of times I call him, he'd be over there chilling with her.
Oh,
But you know, three is a real player. 3 a real player, so you never know. You never know with him. But I feel like he was.
now I think I seen you say that nobody can tell Mo3 how to move.
Nah, hell nah. I mean, he gonna listen,
He gonna do what he
But
want to do at the end of the day.
really know how to move, and that's like all this shit is crazy to me how it even happened. But yeah, I think I said can't tell him what to do for real. Like 3 gonna do what he want to do. He gonna listen to what you're saying. If it's right, he'll take heed to it. But like I couldn't have called him and said, bro, you need to get that girl, get from over that girl house and go get a room, because he not thinking in his head like for to play with him. You know what I'm saying? So nah, Nick couldn't have told him not to do that.
You had
Man, that shit
mentioned
fucked up.
MO3 had been shot at a couple weeks before that.
Right. He was at V Live in Houston. Yeah, did a show in Houston right before that. I want to say a month before that.
One side of the leg, and the
Not
other
like a
one
month
in
and some
there.
change. Yeah. And he told me it got real bad too. He said it got real bad, but he made it up out of that.
Okay. What do you mean by real bad? Like, did they
Like
destroy his car?
They got the ups on them, like to where, you know, you kind of blindsided.
Damn.
Just when we talked, because I had just got out of jail, but when we talked about it, he was just like, bitch, they almost got me.
Damn.
And then he was like, man, I ain't gonna lie, bitch. Them bullets was flying. I could hear them bitches flying across my head. He was in his car though. He was in his car.
Fuck.
I mean, they handled their business. They got up out of there. They did what they need to do to get up out of there. But yeah, he was just saying like, bitch, they almost got me. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
That was the first time I heard like a sense of worry when it comes to this shit. Cause 3 been getting shot at like, bro.
Damn.
I remember when my mama kicked him out when he was on the run. I was like 14, he was like 16. We on the phone. You can hear it. He just started running. He getting shot at while we on the phone. Like 3 done been through them situations a lot of times. But this was the first time I heard worry in his voice. But he was just telling me like, you know, bitch, they almost got us type shit.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Okay.
Boy, that's a fucking
sad ass. How did you feel when Rainwater started to get the blame for MO3's death?
I honestly, at the time, I was just thinking like, but that's some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking like, that's some bullshit. Cause I had it on my mind where it came from and how it came from. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I still don't blame him, but he be doing a lot of fuck shit to where I understand now where motherfuckers be coming from. Cause I ain't really know him. I knew of him through 3. Like, I ain't know his character for real until now.
What's going on between you and Rainwater?
You know, me and Rain ain't fucking with Rain right now. You know, Rain kind of like finessed and got my mama kicked out for 3 estate and shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? To where now my mama ain't even in control of what's going on with my brother no more. They done kicked her out to play. And that's due to his doing and that lawyer and the state lawyer doing. But Rain he been doing a lot of fuck shit since bro died. You know what I'm saying? And like, really, like, I'm the one that kind of helped him get on 3 paperwork when he died. Because we wouldn't have had to deal with this had we not got this bitch ass nigga on paperwork. But I feel like once we got him on that paperwork, he just started doing a lot of greasy shit. And then, like, for the longest, I used to be like, you know, I brush it under the rug because my mama was still in the play and like the 3 program bigger than me. So I never really made it a big deal because they was doing business until they fucked her over. You know what I'm saying? Then once they fucked her over, it's just like this all the way around. Cause he been doing a lot of bullshit. Like, and they, you know, he be on this bitch playing like he 3 partner and he represent for 3 and he doing this for 3 kids, but really it's the total opposite. You know what I'm saying?
Rain was the only one that benefited, bro.
Kids out there cash. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. And then fuck my mama over through it all.
Okay, now you said he wasn't on the paperwork. So I think I interviewed him maybe, or I seen an interview where he says that MO3 and him didn't have a contract.
Right.
That's true.
That's true.
Okay, so I guess MO3 just always took care of him. So
right.
When MO3 passes away, that seems like that's a really complicated situation.
Right.
Because Rain, regardless of you guys' problems, Rain was right there with him.
Right.
through everything,
Right.
and MO3 was paying him. So how
Right.
did you guys, you guys brought him in and put him in the middle of everything?
Right. See, when bro died, that nigga was calling me, bro, like 2-3 months straight, like, bitch, I don't want to get left out of the play. Bitch, I'm down to my
They needed
last.
Rain though in the sense because Rain was the
You
best.
know, everybody was saying Rain, he killed 3 and all this shit. And everything that you just said is how I felt too. So it was like, I used to tell him, like, bitch, I know you've been around. I know you know what I'm saying?
They
Let me
needed
work my
Rain
magic,
though.
bitch. We're going to put you in the play. You know what I'm saying? So we
Rain
put him in the
dirty as
play.
fuck, bro.
But I feel like once we put him in the play, he just started doing shit to control what he wanted to do. Because for the long as my mama was there, they couldn't do what they wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? As long as my mama was in the mix, they had to kind of go through her and then do what they wanted to do and shit. But like, yeah, at first, that's why I put him on the play. Because I felt the same way. I've been around to know that, you and three helped, you and three did this shit together. I know that, and I ain't never taken that from him. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when he died, I felt it was only right. I tried to keep everything bro had going on together, you know? But shit, like once 3 died, niggas started showing their true colors.
True colors.
Doing shit that they wouldn't do while 3 was
Rain
here. You know what I'm
benefited the
saying?
most, bro.
Okay, now, are you guys going to court over this, or what's the whole current situation on everything?
My mama already they kicked off the shit. They kicked off the estate. We already
That's
went to
fuck.
court.
That's damn bad,
How were
boy.
they able to kick your mom off the estate?
Because they
All
it's
three
a
of them signed
process.
off on them.
He can't kick off the estate. That's why I
The
say
girls
he ran
did.
in that lawyer. Cause really that lawyer got into his baby mama's heads, and and so they had to go to court and do this shit how they did it. They tried to say my mama was stealing and all this shit. They tried to say my mama was stealing money.
My son.
But like the judge took her off the estate, but she still court ordered her $50,000 that she still ain't got. But they kicked her off that bitch.
That's
It's like
cold,
a process
bro.
they go through the family. You know what I'm saying?
That woman
That's
deserved
another
that,
reason
bro.
niggas
That's
be
her
having it
child. She
fucked up.
pushed that boy
They
out.
don't split up
9
my
months,
family.
boy.
You know what I'm saying? Behind this shit.
9 months.
Damn.
Right.
No motherfucking way you gonna tell a
Right.
motherfucking mama get off of there, boy.
And these niggas be on here on these big platforms playing like MO3 partner, and I'm looking out for his kids and all this.
I like that
weak ass
motherfucking
shit.
test that too. The whole clean.
But
I
they
ain't
ain't
gonna
doing
even
none of
hold
that.
you.
Niggas doing their job
Oh,
that
nice.
they
I
get
like
paid
that.
for.
Damn. Well, hopefully everything will work out with you guys, man. Hopefully,
Right.
it fixes itself.
Right.
So, one thing that Mo3 talked about in our first interview was his friendship with Roy Lee.
Right.
I know him and Roy Lee were really good friends. Did you meet Roy Lee, and did you know how much did you know about their friendship?
I met Roy Lee in person one time in Louisiana, but 3 with him the long way. Like I done seen and talked to him through FaceTime while I'm with 3 a couple times, but 3 with him the long way. Roy Lee was standing up for him when Dallas was against him.
Nobody was standing up for
At
that
the
nigga.
time after that Fort Worth shit happened and Dallas was going against him, Roy Lee was about the only nigga with a big platform in Dallas that was like riding with him. And outside of them being cool on the funny shit, I know bro respected that and like really, really put his arm around him and brought him too close to his heart. Just by that, I just know how he think. Like the fact that he rolled it out with him when everybody was hating him. Yeah, I know he with him the long way. That shit fucked him up when Roy Lee died for sure.
From what you're saying, when you say Dallas hated him, are you just talking about like the rappers, or are you talking about in general the city was kind of mad at him?
The whole city, they was like from the radio to the artists to the shit to everybody on the cool. They had a whole page called Key to the Streets in Dallas. Everybody hated that nigga. That damn Key to the Streets was a Mo3 hater page. Like everybody hated bro around that time. Like that nigga was just getting hate from everybody and from every direction.
They say there's no such thing as bad publicity. So
Right.
I mean, I guess
that's
that probably
that's adversity, man. That shit what turned him into that gorilla he is, man. That's adversity. That's when Osama just really, really got birthed, like through all them times. That shit don't do nothing but make you stronger, make you
Roy Lee
better.
and my brother got
He
took
came out
out
on top. For sure.
Really turned 3
You know,
man.
I wanted to ask you, man, because I don't know if it was real news or fake news, but I had seen that there was even another person recently arrested.
Yeah, that shit real. That shit real.
Okay.
That
I
shit
mean,
real.
is there anything you could talk about? Like, do you
can
know
talk about
anything
that
about
case.
it?
No, I don't know that nigga, but I know it's real though, just cause, you know, like my mama gotta talk to them people. So yeah, that shit real though. I ain't never heard of that nigga. Never seen him, never heard of him.
It's gonna be a Rico on them boys.
But you know, they all cool with each other. All them niggas that's going to jail all cool with each other. So it makes sense. But yeah, that shit is real. It ain't fake.
Damn. Okay. You know, surprisingly, it hasn't really been something that's really been blogged about too much. I'm kind of like, you know, kind of surprised, man. I came across it on like a real small Instagram
Right.
page.
You know, the internet, he ain't no big name, so it ain't gonna get no big attention.
Attention, that's
You know what I'm saying?
Getting a
Like
big
it ain't
buzz.
really no big name. But that shit real though. That's real for sure.
Okay.
That's
So
crazy.
four
bro.
people now. Four
Yeah.
people now have been arrested.
Right.
You know, I seen the one guy, the alleged shooter,
Right.
do an interview from jail. He did
Right.
it with real life,
Right.
and he basically was like, "Yeah, I think we're done."
Right.
Yeah, his tone
You know,
showed
the one
changed up from
guy,
last year when he made the interview.
the guy that dropped the location. I mean, I believe he's the one that's doing all the cooperating, and he has
Devin
these
Brown.
alleged evidence of Yella Beezy, you know, talking on the phone.
Right. Damn, how you know all that? I ain't even heard that part.
Well, those are the rumors.
Oh, okay.
You know, everybody's kind of like, you know, what evidence could they possibly have on Yella Beezy? You know, like, okay, the guy's cooperating,
Right.
but it's gonna probably take more than this guy just getting on the stand and saying, you know, yeah, I was working with Yella Beezy to do this. You know, you're gonna need you know, maybe some wiretaps,
Right.
some money transactions.
Right.
You know, you're gonna need, you know, to see a few things. So that is definitely one of the rumors, that this guy was recording phone calls, and that possibly maybe even when he was in jail, that he had a burner phone and was calling Yella Beezy
That's crazy.
and recording these calls. But like I said, none of this is in the paperwork, but this is what the rumors are.
That's crazy as hell. Yeah, you know, these niggas be stupid these days, so you never know.
So fuck dude,
But be
stupid.
telling on themselves sometimes.
Yeah, the whole thing was a pretty much a surprise, man. But I mean, you know, the cops they've been going crazy on hip hop
Right.
lately, man. It's been, you know, from Little Dirk to Big U recently out of LA, Brick Baby, Loose Cannon.
Right.
You know, they got K Flock on a Rico. You know, Young Thug had his issues. So they've really just went out of the, you know, the old Block 5 with Duck and everything. I mean, the
Right.
feds have getting involved in
Yeah, but
cases that
Baki
are,
big.
you just really think are just normal street cases that normal cops would handle, you know, and you got the feds involved. I mean, it's
Yeah,
getting
it ain't the right time to be no rapper in no
Yep.
street.
Nigga,
They
nah, for real.
cracking down on that shit. I think it's just
It's
because
tired of this real
when you
shit.
that high profile, it's like it's only so much you can be out here doing for real. Cause them people, if
I be
you
making
killing
money
a
if I was in the
nobody
spotlight like
and
that, bro.
nobody's dying and you're nobody out, you got a better chance of getting away with this shit. Once you get a name and some fame and a bunch of money and influence and you out here doing that type of shit, them people already on your ass before you doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's just we. I think when you get to that level, it's certain shit you ain't supposed to be doing for real. Not directly anyway, to be getting caught doing it.
man, and the technology nowadays is crazy.
Right. It's a camera everywhere you go.
I won't be doing nothing.
They
Every
tap
Nothing.
your phone.
camera.
They have your phone. Man, I just had a motherfucker call me, use my number to call somebody else, and heard the call while we doing it. Like this
Damn.
technology is crazy these days. This technology is something else. So you know them feds got some shit that ain't gonna come out to us for another 10 years. It ain't really shit you can get away with these days.
I've been
Now that they
motherfuckers
already
word
on
lock
your
out.
ass.
With all the computers in the cars, who knows? They
Right.
might even, they might have some way to wiretap your car too.
Right. You
You
seen
think
that?
you leaving your cell phone in the house?
You
No, you're
seen they
not.
caught Fulio people
People
off
like
the
that.
Tesla camera on the car on the
That
Tesla.
shit was crazy. The cars off and they be
Them
still
niggas who killed
recording.
Fulio, they caught them on the camera off the Tesla. Yeah, it's a new ball game these days.
I won't be doing
Like, you know, bro,
nothing.
if you tell your phone right now, I want some green apples, and you get on any internet social media, you gonna see some green apples. Them people is listening.
They
Them
listen.
people listening and watch it at all times. For sure.
That's
They are,
facts.
man.
That's something they
It's
is
gonna
doing.
be very
Listen,
difficult to get away with
looking at that little camera we got
Yeah,
on our
for
phone.
sure.
Everything we do.
That's why I'm trying to rap, man. I'm trying to get out the streets on some rap shit, man. I got a new single, Oh Lord, going crazy right
That
now,
whole jam
man.
like a
Tap
bitch.
in, GOTTI on my YouTube. I need to get out the
Check it out.
streets. I need to get out these streets.
One of the guys who kind of chimed in and said some things, man. Charleston White.
Right.
What do you think about Charleston White? And have you seen some of the things he said about MO3?
Yeah, I used to like him at first, but then he started talking about, bro, Charleston White the hoe, man. Charleston White is making it cool for niggas to be hoes too. Like, Charleston White is the reason, bro. All these niggas out here being bitch ass. Cause he get on here and just say the dumbest shit, just be talking outside his neck. But he go viral for it. Now he got a whole community of niggas doing the same bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
But now I don't fuck with Charleston, man. Charleston the
Okay,
hoe.
this
He
is
done talk too much shit about, bro. Then he be trying to come back around and be cool, but I still don't fuck with him from the first time he said it. But yeah, fuck Charleston.
Right. I believe the first thing he said after Mo3 passed away was that Mo3 earned it, or he earned his
Right,
death.
right.
How did you feel when you heard that?
When he first was talking shit, and nigga, that's what I'm saying, he was pissing me the fuck off. So when he got cool with Rain, I used to tell Rain, like, bro, call this, let me meet up with this nigga. Rain was on some, not wanting me to get around him and push up on him. But then he tried to come back around and be cool and shit. You know, him and my mama did a little, that murder changed me shit. This before he was talking shit about 3 though. He did that murder changed me shit with my mama. And then once that shit went sour, he started talking about 3, saying all that shit. And saying fuck my mom and all this shit. And yeah, I was trying to pull up on his ass at first, like on some real shit. I was trying to pull up on him at first, but then my mom had to knock some sense to me, like, bro, this is what he do. Like, he's just what he do. But yeah, still fuck him.
One of the things that I thought was pretty dope, man, is that 50 Cent made a documentary about your
Right,
brother.
right.
How did all that come together?
I don't know how it came together. I just remember they hit my mama up. My mama hit me up. I was in there, but they ain't put my scene in there. I feel like I didn't be messy enough for them, so cause they was asking me all type of like police shit,
Police shit, I already
and
know.
I was just, I told them we not doing that. But it was good though. It surprised me for real. It really surprised me. But that's like another eye opener to know how big bro is. You know what I'm saying? That's how I looked at it. Like, damn, that bitch really superstar status. Got these people calling, trying to put you on here. But yeah, my mama just called me. I don't know how they got in touch with her, but she called me and was like, pull up to the graveyard. I just did my interview. Do you want to do yours? I still feel like it was a good look though, even though they ain't put me on there. You know what I'm saying? It was still a good look, for sure.
Did they pay you?
They ain't put me on there. They ain't paid me.
Oh, okay.
I think they paid a couple people though. I think they paid my daddy, if I'm not mistaken. They paid my mama, I think. But nah, they ain't put me on there. They had me sign the papers and do all this shit. And then I guess when the editors came, that's when they said they was gonna pay everybody. You know what I'm saying? On the back end after shooting. But they ain't put my scene in there. I kinda knew I wasn't gonna be in there because they ain't never reached back out. In the direction they went with it, that wasn't for me. That was good for my mama though. And that was good for the family. It was good for 3 too, just just for his name and his legacy to be on a big stage, big platform like that. That was real though.
What type of questions did they ask you that you didn't like? Do you remember any of them?
Some detective questions, just who I think killed them, and you know they was trying to break down how the murder happened, and do I think the girl set them up, and you know, just it's a whole bunch of shit that was deeper than that I don't even want to say, you know. But just a lot of asking names and certain and all this type of shit. Did three really do this certain shit? It was just too deep for me.
Police shit.
Cause at the time, bro, like when bro died, I had already went through that with the police. They asking me shit to where I couldn't get right on camera and then say what I didn't tell them people. But yeah, it was just an interrogation for the most part, anyway.
So the police were trying to get some answers out of you. Okay, how many times did they reach out to you?
They never reached out to me. Like three had two funerals. He had a personal funeral with just the family where we got to view the body and shit. And then he had like a public funeral where the casket was closed. So at the personal funeral, I was outside smoking a cigarette and shit. The nigga just walked up to me and started talking, but then he like showed me his badge and then just start asking me questions and shit. Like he really scared the fuck out of me because I ain't see it coming. They ain't called me down and I was at the funeral. And the nigga just walked up on me, asked me certain shit, try to see what I knew and what I thought I knew and all that type of shit.
That's crazy work.
Damn,
Right.
Damn, that's kind of fucked up to approach you at a funeral, man.
Right, you know, they don't give a
like,
and the nigga, like, I don't know, that nigga scared me. Cause he was like, man, I've been to all the funerals on the other side too. Like just saying shit like that just kind of fucked me up. But yeah.
damn.
Right.
MO3 and Trap Boy Freddy had a heavy beef.
Right.
You know, I interviewed Trap Boy Freddy about it.
Right.
You know, I don't think I asked MO3 about
Right.
it. At the time, I didn't really know a lot about it, man. You know, but you know, I remember, you know, Trap Boy Freddy dropped a video
Right.
of himself. You know, I'm sure you've seen the video, man. And MO3 did not look scared at all.
Right. He came up there to fight. He didn't want to fight. You can see in the video what's going on. Three trying to punch. That bitch ain't want to fight. You see that bitch out and talking. And you know, you don't pull out no gun, don't use it. Three came up there to fight and left untouched. Type shit. I don't know why he dropped that video trying to look cool. That shit to a street, you really just showing that three saying what he's been saying is true. Type shit.
I mean, do you think a fight could have ended the beef?
No.
You know, niggas don't like getting beat up.
In the first part, you would have.
So I wouldn't say that. I feel like three probably thought that because they used to be partners at first. So three on penitentiary time probably trying to pull up and scratch, but don't like getting whooped. So you beat it up now, it's smoke still. Either way it go. Either way it go. But probably early on had it been a real conversation, probably.
Did MO3 ever get to fight any of these guys that he had beef with?
Nope.
Nah.
He tried to. He just said they was scared to fight.
He tried to. They ain't want to fight. They ain't want to fight.
Were you around when he tried to go to that concert? I guess Yella Beezy was performing
at the Frisco concert. I
believe so.
I was in Cali at the time, but I was around. He told me he was going to go up there and all that shit. Then they told us he went to jail and all that shit. Yeah.
Okay. What was your thoughts on that situation?
Shit. That he wasn't lying when he said that they don't want him in the same rooms as him. Cause he was supposed to be on that concert. But you know, at the time, Yella on the top of the bill, so where he can put that bug in that ear.
2 songs.
Like, nah, probably on shit like if this perform, I ain't performing type shit. But nah, he used to tell me that like he was supposed to do a car show around that time, like random times, and they wouldn't let him do it. A lot of different shit was happening. But yeah, I feel like that was him. That was Yella on that. We don't want you here type shit. But yeah.
was he having trouble getting bookings or just
Hell nah,
local bookings?
3 was booked. 3 was booked all across them United States. I think it's just them type of big ass shows like that would have probably been his first big show like that in Dallas. That would have been his first big show in Dallas, for sure. But he ain't had no problem getting booked. But just like them arena ass shows, he didn't do too many of them. That probably would have been the first one in Dallas. Like, you know, he sold that House of Blues by himself though, but like them type of deals with different high profile, big ass famous artists, he ain't did too many of them.
Well, you know, one thing that Mo3 rapped about quite a bit, you know, I talked to him about this too in our interview.
Right.
You know, and I particularly think it stuck out in 219, where he raps about, you know, they got money on my head.
Right.
You know, what
The
was,
price went
you
up
know, your
again. I
thoughts
heard
on
what they
that?
said.
And
I'm
did
gonna
you
step
hear
on
these
them.
same rumors?
Yeah, I heard the same rumors. I heard the same rumors. But my thoughts on it is, shit, you know, they be rumors, but then shit happen, and you understand, like, you know, maybe they wasn't rumors. Maybe they wasn't rumors. But hearing all that shit, bro, just turned up. He hearing that shit, he just gonna turn up, pipe up on wherever he thought the money coming from.
Well, before we get out of here, you know, you talked about Boosie being the only one that checks on Mo3.
Right. Boosie a real nigga. Boosie a real nigga for sure. He fuck with 3, genuinely.
I even seen at his house.
Right.
I believe he's got like a painting of him on one of his walls.
Right. I just tell my partner that he got a couple of them bitches. I just watched that estate tour and shit. He got a couple of them hoes. He fuck with 3 the long way, bro. He check in on my mama like a partner do. Like you can tell when he be talking about, bro, he really miss, bro. Him and Boosie had a real strong relationship, and it's crazy because like 3 really looked up to Boosie. That's been his favorite rapper since we was little kids. So to fast forward and now you this nigga favorite rapper down there, and y'all got a real bond and all that shit. Pull up to this house, y'all act like partners like this. You know, bro, lived his dreams for sure.
Man, that's what's up. I know. When I interviewed him, you know, he was like, Boosie's the only
that shit
one
sad, bro.
that can compare
Nigga
to
killed
Pac.
with me, nigga. I bet
real.
that slide, boy.
That's how
My
he
little
felt.
brother.
He been felt
My
like
brother,
that. I
shit,
was like, bro, this nigga been a Boosie head, bro, since we was young as
Damn.
hell. Since we was young as hell. That nigga been a Boosie. That's Mo3 badass. That's where the nigga name come from. That badass part anyway.
Damn. So as a kid, he was always bumping Boosie. Okay.
Always.
Yeah, man, that's pretty crazy, man. To you know, to grow
I'm
up
gonna
and be
step
able to
on
do an
them.
album with your favorite rapper.
Right.
Man, I don't think that probably happens
Shit,
very often.
with your favorite, with your role model at that point, Boosie damn near the nigga role model. Rapping, street shit, all that shit. Like 3 was a Boosie head for real. To the bandana and all that shit. Yeah, so to grow up and that be like, now that's your partner, yeah, that shit crazy,
bro.
Not too many
I grew
people
up
get
on
to
Boosie, bro. I'm
experience
from
that.
Louisiana, so I grew up on Boosie, bro.
That's pretty dope.
That shit crazy.
Is there any stories you can share with Mo3? You know, partying or, you know, maybe you guys was at the club and got in a fight with some dudes or something.
Man, I got a bunch of them, like 3 first show. First show that nigga had. He brought the whole North Dallas to the show. And nigga, that shit turned into a brawl. That shit turned into a whole brawl his first show. And then his third show, he get into some.
Tell me about the brawl, man. How does it break out?
Just, you know, you got a bunch of niggas with you. That shit happen fast. He with like 30 different cliques all in one. We in another neighborhood, so you know, one nigga with 3 get into it with a nigga in the crowd, and now we all get into it with the whole club down there. But shit, like his third show after that, the same exact shit happened in a whole nother neighborhood. The nigga rapping, bro, one nigga with bro done got into it with the nigga on stage, and shit. Me, 3, cause everybody got kicked out, but 3 has done slid back in So I see him slide in, so I done slid back in. As soon as we get in that bitch, them niggas jump the fuck out of us and them them niggas jump the fuck out of us in that bitch. But yeah, that's with 3. At first, a lot of them shows was like straight gangster party. But like towards the end, you know, it's real rap star shit. 2020, crazy story. We in Virginia, me and bro hit a mama and a daughter.
Damn.
Me and bro hit a mama and a daughter, and they came together. Like some
That's
real
crazy.
crazy funny ass shit. Some funny shit.
Man, it sounds like you guys had a great time together, man. It sounds like he was a real fun dude to party with.
Oh yeah, he ain't really the party type nigga, but you gonna have a good time with 3 for sure. He gonna keep some shit going, like good or bad. He gonna keep some shit going. He don't like to be bored. Shout out to my Dr. Stunchy for connecting this shit together.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out
For
Dr.
sure.
Stanchi. I think Boss Talk, E,
Yeah, for sure. Shout
kind of
out
connected
E2.
us also.
Right,
You know, Dr. Stanchi reached out first, and then the
right,
next day I got the call from E. So
right.
shout out to both of them, man, for
For
making this
sure.
happen. You know, and I look forward to what you got going on, man. You know, I checked out your music.
Yeah.
You got some pretty dope music, man.
Appreciate you, man. I got way more shit coming. Got way more shit coming. Got a feature. I got 2, 3 features too that ain't nobody heard. I got the last MO3 video
Damn.
that he done never
That shit
did,
fucked up, bro.
that ain't dropped yet. I got a lot of shit coming.
Okay, so there's more Mo3 music coming.
Yeah. They got Mo3 music coming on their end, and I got 2 songs on my end in the last video, like period, on both ends.
Was it a unreleased video that you guys did, or was it just something he was doing himself?
Nah, it's a
you guys did it.
Yeah, me and him shot the video 2020. We shot the video 2020. We were supposed to drop it. Like, bro, had my biggest song right now is with 3 Point of My Life. I dropped it after he died because we was working on a lot of shit right before he died. But yeah, we had shot this video that ain't dropped yet in 2020.
Damn.
Yeah, I didn't get to drop it while he was alive. So I've been keeping it in the tuck, for real. I've been keeping it in the tuck until like I get on a bigger scale. I feel like it'll make more sense then.
Makes sense.
What made you come out and start doing interviews?
I mean, my first interview I did was in 2021. My old manager at the time was doing the interview for his clothing line, and the guy there was just like, "Damn, you Mo3 brothers, can you do me an interview?" My first interview 10 minutes long, but that hoe did like 300K in like 2 days, and I've been rapping, so bro was like, "You need to drop your song now." And shit, once I did the song, that hoe did 200K in like 2 days. And shit, everything just went from there. Now people reaching out, now people, you know. But it's all to keep the story rolling and push the music and all, you know, that's what they gotta do.
Yeah, I think, interviews really help, man.
Right,
Like
for sure.
even for myself, if I'm watching an interview and they talk about a song that I like,
right,
sometimes I'll go listen to the song.
right, for sure.
So I know these interviews and this recent talk of Mo3 has got to really be bringing up the streams.
Right, for sure.
I mean, for instance, I went and listened to some of his music before I did this interview, just to kind of, be able to listen to it and see, what was going on and everything.
Right. Yeah, that shit got my shit going crazy. Like I said, I just dropped Oh Lord. I just dropped another song called Slime 'Em Out. Got another song called Speak. Got a video to War Outside on the way. I got some shit coming, but yeah, that's just the method with the madness, man. You gotta talk to the people these days before you drop that music, you know. And then with all of this shit going on, it's like people calling even more, for real. Like I just got out of jail though, so I took a little year off, little year break of doing interviews and talking.
Well, man, I'm glad to see you out here, doing your thing, man. Representing for your brother, man.
I already appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you letting me tap in with you.
For For sure, man. I appreciate you, man. I
interview.
wish you
I'm
luck,
gonna hop back
man.
on this bit later,
I'm
though.
excited to see the video you guys got, man.
Already, bro. Stay tuned. It's called Try and Do, man.
Another
It's coming
hour
soon.
for this.
All
I
right.
want to just
Try
break
and
this
Do, and we
shit
got
down.
another single called.
We'll get back on this hoe later, though.
Waiting
Shout out to
on
that
you.
boy called Gotti.
But yeah,
And that boy
them two
Melvin
coming
Noble, you
soon.
dig?
All right. That's what it is.
Already, bro.
All right,
Appreciate
girl.
you, man.